Go live. We'll let that propagate across the globe. Didn't notice the drawing behind you. So that's like, I like that the kid got your goatee. That's excellent.
Yeah, I know, right? I've had it so long just during the pandemic that it now is featured in their drawings.
Just like there's always a thin line between the praise and insults in their drawings. I think I had him once like draw like a stomach. Is it's like, oh, and here's your belly. I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah.
Listen,
No. We're gonna like work that back a little, right? Gonna clean
like-
that up a little.
let's have your drawing as aspirational for what Daddy's body could be, for what he'd like it to be.
I kind of looked like a pirate though. I don't know. At the seven seas.
Yeah, you got a little bit of flare out there. That's great. The best part is that the best part of what your flare out is that the flare out is your gray hairs.
That's right. That's right. There you go.
So it's like a Doctor Strange multiverse of madness type thing.
It's perfect. I'm working on my Halloween costume. That's what this is.
I was gonna say you got October can't come soon enough.
There
You're all
right.
ready.
Let's go.
All right. We'll assume everybody's live. Let's get the show started. The adult beverages are poured. The kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming, a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives. My name is Trevor, and I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have an 11-year-old and almost a 9-year-old.
Almost a 9-year-old. The birthday is coming up,
Yes.
and Jeff is a fool because he decided to have a birthday party at his house.
Why'd I do that? Why'd I do such things? You should have talked me out of it. What are you trying to do to
If
me?
you had called the dad support line,
I should have, yes.
we could have come up with like a list. And in these current times, there's never been a greater ripcord than saying like, just with the numbers of COVID, like, this pandemic,
That's right. Can't do it.
But-
Sorry.
I will say I would have a very strong pull to give my kid a party. I'm thinking about like even like his is coming up at the end of May,
Yeah.
and if you could have some kids over, just like that little taste of normalcy after so long of being apart.
That's what we were trying to do this time. It's been a couple years. My almost 9-year-old has missed out 2 times because it spikes in April. That's just up here. It's just like, hey, no more birthday. So we decided, hey, 5 friends, you can have them over. We'll keep it small, keep it tight, right? So I don't know why I did that because I don't remember, pre-COVID, it's such a blur.
Yep.
All the work and preparations to get the house ready and cleaned and, stuff ready to go. But we're looking at like, what's the balance of the day? What are these kids going to do? Because I don't want to entertain them. I want them to I want them to go off on their own and entertain themselves.
Well, what brought up 2 really great points we wanted to get into, and the first one was you got a preview of what's for sure going to happen at the party. Your kid gave you a preview, I believe, it was at a McDonald's.
Oh, yeah.
As he was given his first empty cup, and one can only imagine what happened. What ensued?
Yeah, this was, okay, fill up your own fountain pop. And it, he proceeded to dump all the flavors into the cup. Like, I'm talking everything. Like, Fruitopias are in there, both flavors. Coke, root beer, Sprite, everything. And he's like, no, don't worry, Dad, it's good. And I looked at him and I cringed. I'm like, okay, just go for it. This is your time. I did this when I was a kid. Now it's your turn.
What are you drinking there,
ahead.
son? Diabetes.
Yeah, exactly. Just pure sugar.
It was
Yeah.
a word until I saw the tweet and I was talking to you about it, I forgot the word, like swamp water.
Swamp water, yeah.
Swamp water was the word. And then talking about the birthday, it's like that was the thing to do. So someone like brought the bowl and like, okay, here's our 3 or 4 2-liter bottles. Blah,
All in
tossing
there.
it to the same one.
All
Which-
in there.
I'm just gonna be so curious if your kids actually pull it off like at the party. I don't know if you're gonna have like soft drinks there or not.
You know what? We are, just because they're older. I'm like, they can get a treat now. Before it used to be just water. Like, here's water. That's all you get.
Water
You're
and
getting-
carrot sticks, you
That's
jerk.
it. That's right. But no, I brought pop this time and juice. So I'm like, oh God, if they go to the bowl and start dunking it in, I'm like, well, time to videotape this and just have it as a memory and then cry about it later with all the kids having stomach aches or whatever.
Oh.
So
Every parent picking up their just like wide-eyed, like bloodshot kids. Like, well, good luck with that tonight, I guess.
My, I can just imagine the kid that's not allowed soft drinks or like, Mom, guess what? I
Oh my
drank a whole
lord.
bowl of every soft drink mixed in one.
You know, I'm not allowed to have any. Well, I had them all at the
All at once.
same time.
I can, yeah, I can see colors and run up walls and all sorts of things. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
But
Please.
it's great, man. That was some of the best parts of being a kid and like going to parties. It's just the nonsense, like
Oh
that
yeah.
type of nonsense. It's beautiful nonsense. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys are doing it. The next question that came up from that though was the entertainment.
Right.
Like what on earth are you going to do? And it was a question of like, and video games are going to play a big part of it. So you actually introduced a game that seems to be a crowd favorite at party time.
Yeah. Yeah. Ultimate Chicken Horse. So I said this name and you
Ultimate.
just looked at me
Yeah.
like, what are you
It's like,
talking about?
are you having a stroke? Are you okay?
Is this what you're eating? I don't get it. Yeah, no, Ultimate Chicken Horse. It's on like every platform. It's pretty cheap and it's just a blast to play. I play this with my kids. A lot of the times it's not really cooperative, so it's more of a competitive, fun level builder. So everybody kind of gets a piece of their level, and then they start building out the level to race to the finish. But obviously, people are trying to throw you off because they don't want you to win. So what ends up happening is like 10 rounds of just different level pieces being stacked against you, and everyone having a blast. Rarely does it end in tears, but I'm hoping tomorrow with, 5 kids going at each other's throat to try and get number one, we're hoping that this might be a winner. But it is a really good game. It's so fun to play. I've laughed countless times just tricking my kids into trying to finish a level, but then like there's a black hole item and it sucks them and they lose they lose the map. So it's really fun to play.
It looks so silly, but
Oh yeah,
so
it's
perfectly
ridiculous.
silly. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot akin to the Boomerang Foo, where it's
Yes.
competitive, but competitive in such a way that losing is more about stupidity than it
Yeah.
is about like skill or somebody just kind of like running the board with everybody. So
Yeah.
that one looks like a great. I might have to check it out because again, but after the runaway success of Boomerang Foo in my household, this looks like
That's right.
something my kids could like sink their teeth into.
Yeah.
So Ultimate Chicken the Horse. Now the other game led to another game that seems to have retaken up, and actually it got us a retweet from the company that built it this week when
Yes.
you were talking about, which is awesome because it looks like a great little indie game studio. So your kid was able to re-get into Humans Fall Flat because it feels like it fell flat the first
Yeah.
time you tried to introduce it.
Yeah, we had this maybe last year and it just didn't go anywhere. I think it was just part of the 3D sponginess to it. My 8-year-old wasn't really having it.
Sponginess. That is so apt. That's such a perfect way to describe the
Right?
physics of your bodies. Like very spongy.
Yeah, and just the controls themselves are
Awful.
they're that way. They're supposed to be awful, right? Like that's the whole fun of it, right? So when we got back into it, it just seemed like he was really into it. We were working as a team a lot of the times, and a lot of times we were just goofing off. But crushing the levels, we're going through these things like nothing, like working together, strategizing. Sometimes we're,
awesome.
shaking our booties at each other, just having a laugh. But it is a fun time, and that sponginess, I think we've both gotten the hang of it. It's just something that's there, that's goofy, and we're having a blast with it. So totally recommend Humans Fall Flat. Maybe give it like a second go if you tried it once, and just circle back. Maybe like they were primed by Minecraft or something, but like this 3D nature of it, right back into it.
Yeah, what I like about it is like we'll often be asked, we'll go on other podcasts and such, and like what's example of good games or what
Yeah.
game is age appropriate. I think the real secret to a game like Humans Fall Flat is it's disarming. It's silly nonsense. Like you're flopping about. The guys look hilarious. Like again, like you can pop out your bum and like shake it around. So like
Yeah.
it's got everything that's going to make a kid laugh and want to play it. What's amazing about it's non-linear. In so much, there's a lot of different ways to actually solve the problems, right? Like some, for instance, like we're watching a clip right now, and
We're watching a clip right now, and I never could get it to work this way. So the clip is there's a big trail, like a railroad car, and there's a log wedged in there, and you're supposed to yank the log out. And my son and I were trying to yank this log out to let it go, and we're like, it doesn't work. It's trying to trick us. So we grab boulders from previous in the level and smash the wall.
That's right. Like it's it's so non-linear in that sense. Like it's not like you to get this puzzle, you have to get this key that is exactly over here, and that's the first step. It's more like you're here, you're over here. There's these elements. Good luck.
Go to it, right?
So the times that we've gone through, like the different paths we've taken to success, I adore it. So it creates that creative thinking, that non-linear. I got to stop saying non-linear. That's like the eighth time. It creates creative thinking, the off-the-wall thinking, the unique thinking, the trying different approaches, failing and trying again. So, when we're asked these type of questions about what games you suggest for kids, an easy answer, something like Minecraft or like Froggy's Math Challenge. I think the more interesting ones is something like Humans Fall Flat, where it's deceptively educational, like it's deceptively growth producing.
Yeah, it really is. Like I think you hit the nail on the head there. And there's also a lot of scenarios that are set up for like, you're going to learn something, but you're not sure how you're going to learn it. There was one part where there's a catapult and you have to go to over a castle wall. Yeah. And my 8-year-old is just raring to go. He's like, all right, I'm getting in. You launch me. So it took us 5 or 6 tries to actually get the physics right, because you have to wind it and position it. But again, we were just learning how to do it and having a blast. It was so much fun. So
the winding part is like that's fascinating. It's not just, it would have been easy enough to have a button, but they actually have you in this awful physics.
Awful physics with your googly, spongy arms trying to wind this thing clockwise and then launch it.
Yeah, so I don't think Humans Fall Flat would be new to anybody listening. Much like Jeff, though, if you kind of bounced off with it or never had a chance to try it with your kid, highly recommend that, because the giggles, laughs, silliness, wonderful. But the chance to stretch your mind into how can we solve this, it can't be overstated. So Humans Fall Flat. The game does not. And I wanted to give a quick one before we get on to some other stories, though. It was just a Slime Rancher.
Oh, okay.
So here in the house, it was they had seen at some point scrolling through a bunch of games. They just saw the colorful characters and the world and everything else, and asked about it. It's like, yeah, we can download that. And again, I hate to say it every episode, but the benefit of Game Pass.
You're gonna say it. You're gonna say the words. We need a song or something. We need he said the words Game Pass, and then just like confetti comes down.
Yeah. Game Pass. We'll keep a count so that we can send it to the official Xbox Twitter.
There you go.
It's like, listen, I'm here doing the good work.
Yeah.
But hey, PlayStation has its own now.
That's true.
It's all going to work. The benefit of streaming services would be that you can grab on these type of titles and just give it a shot, see if it's going to work for your kid. And lo and behold, they loved it. Like they're chasing these, and it's really approachable in that it's family friendly, because they have all the levels of the difficulties. Oh, and perfect. one of them is like straight up, I think they even call it like family or just like adventure. And it's like, you're not going to get hit. You're not going to get hurt. This is just like more resources type of thing. This is really just about getting through, collect the slime, have some fun.
Yeah.
It's just like perfect. Great.
Yes.
So between that, like I always really appreciate when games have that type of thing where it's just take off the difficulty. And what was the awful D&D game I'd been playing that I shouldn't have touched that was super crazy deep for story?
The Pillars of Eternity?
Pillars of Eternity.
Oh, okay, you're done with that? Or...
Oh, hell, I haven't gone back in. I'm still interested in it, but it's just intimidating. Even that game, it actually had a story mode.
Okay, yes.
Which I found that really, because that type of game seems to revel in its difficulty. It's like, well, you're going to have to be 7. This is 3D chess, man. You're going to have to really think about it. So I really appreciate that. It's like, no, look, if you want this is a cool story. If you want to just read and have a good time, you can set it all the way down.
Yeah.
Small tangent, so I just had to get that in. But Slime Rancher, between that and just the colorful, safe world, unique kind of gameplay, another great hit for kids. So another one worth checking out.
Nice. Do you know if that one's co-op, though? I can't remember if it was. Maybe that's the one that turned me off because there couldn't be 2-player. Maybe I'm wrong, though.
I don't believe it is, because I think we did have that. Although
you might be able to play online together or something.
Yeah, and I can't say it 100% because we were streaming it, because I wasn't really sure that they would want to. wasn't sure how it was going to hit, so I didn't
Right.
download the game. I just let them stream it first to see how it went. And
Even better. See, like you don't even download it anymore. You're like, stream it.
this is good enough. So I can't
Just
say
YouTube.
100. Tell you what, let's. We haven't done a good old Trevor Google something segment. Let's give this a shot. Slime, Rancher, co-op.
It's gonna be like a Mario Cappy kind of thing, isn't it? Like one controls the slime hat.
Hey man, even if that works. Split screen LAN multiplayer mod. Okay, as soon as I say mod, no, it's like
Yeah. Okay.
no. So
Maybe.
no local multiplayer. That I could see that being a turn off. I wish there was, but
Well, as long as your kids are able to take turns and not fight over it, then by all means. But my kids definitely do not take it as like, well, no, this is game time, and I want to game all the time. I don't want to watch somebody else game.
sharing. Forget
Yeah.
that noise.
What is that? What's
Get
this
outta
button
here.
do on this controller? Share. Ugh.
I can make that into a segue to the next story.
Okay.
So one of the, because my oldest actually shared a lot, which I was kind of surprised on, and because he had bought 2 new action figures with his own money.
Wow, I haven't heard action figure in
I-
a while. Are we dating ourselves? Is that what we're doing?
Probably. Like, the kids even play with action figures anymore? I don't know. So we had, I think we were at the mall for haircuts or just something else. He wanders into a GameStop, which at this point is about 50% to 60% toys compared
It's
to actual
Funko Pops
games.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had an entire wall. It was like Minecraft figurines, all this other stuff. Sees one. He's like, oh, I really want this. I want this. Like, do I have enough money to buy it? And in truth,
Oh.
he had a piggy bank and he has been saving up. So like I was thinking, it's like you might actually have enough. It was $30.
Nice.
And go back home and we like bust it out. We do practice some of his math, which is again is another little. This story is all about low key education.
Yeah.
Where it's like using his lust for new toys and figures results in him having a whole lot of lessons like secretly implanted in his head.
This has started from birth, though. You remember sneaking in like healthy food into like like goldfish crackers or something? Like, you're getting your vitamins. You don't know it yet. Like,
We're just gonna grind up some spinach into this mix, and
spinach and a little egg here, and yeah.
he'll get through school. He's like, wait a minute, how am I so intelligent? Damn you, Dad! Just like, how are my scores so high? Damn you, parents! So low key, we get to do is like math. Like, okay, let's count all of these ones, practice your math, and lo and behold, he has more than enough. And it's like, my man, let's do this. Like, if this is what you want, like that's your money. I remember even asking him, are you sure you don't want like a game?
Oh,
Like,
yeah?
a video game? Like, do you want a toy? My worry with toys is just like they seem to be fairly
It's
transient.
quick. Yes.
Yeah, like they're super into it, and then it just gets left on the floor.
Yep.
But his money, his decision. So counts it up. He's got enough. Off we go.
Nice.
Slight sad part is that the toy that he wanted was gone.
Already? Like, how long did this
Yeah.
take to?
It was 2 days.
Okay.
But
I think you
still,
went
like,
right home and then came back. And you're like, what?
that would have been especially upsetting, but fortunately not. So that part was sad. Like I was a little bit upset about that because it's like,
Okay.
damn man, he finally got it. But he took it like a champ because in his mind, in his world, it's still like, all right, I got money, I can buy something. This is great.
Right.
Ends up buying Gujitsu. I don't know if you've ever seen that one. It's a Netflix series which is just tailor made for toys.
Sounds like it.
It's like
I
that's
have
the
not
entire.
seen it though. No.
It's the entire reason they built this series. So it's to eventually sell toys. So it's these 2 figures. He'd wanted them. He had mentioned them before. He'd asked them for Christmas, so we didn't get them. So he was stoked. Comes back he's like, oh, I got them. This is amazing. Like he's been just like beaming. He woke up the next day. He had them. He had slept with them. And then
wow.
the next day at breakfast, he's like, "Arr!" He's doing that excited kid thing. He's like, look at this. It still happened.
Does he? It just sounds like Santa didn't give him these 2 toys, and he's
did
just
not.
like, "Eat it, Santa!" Like, look at me now. Do you see
don't
that,
need-
Santa?
I don't need you, Santa. I got my own toys.
Got my own money.
Get what I want.
Buy my own stuff.
So the part that I loved is, so we are, after we count the money and all those other parts, we're heading to the store to buy it.
Okay.
And it is just an all out assault of education.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying, because I'm trying to seize the moment. because I want him to understand the benefit of what's happened. Where it's like, so look what's happened. You did great work. You know, helped out around the house. You did great at school. Whatever many reasons you got money, right? So
Right.
because of your good deeds and your hard work, you were able to get a lot of money. And I relayed another thing is that when we used to go to the arena for skating, there was slot machines, not slot machines, coin operated candy and like
Oh,
coin
okay,
machines.
not like a casino.
Not literal gambling. Yeah, that one didn't sound so good. He's got a terrible gambling addiction. No.
You see, you work hard, you win sometimes.
And you can play the odds. Let's do this. Daddy
Totally
needs a
different
new
lesson.
car.
Yeah.
So it's like, you remember those, and like it's candy, and it's like just like little bobblehead. It's kind of like nonsense stuff, right? And you would spend money there,
Right.
and those aren't really great toys, right?
No.
So look what's happened is that you did this hard work, you earned it, you got all this money, and then you saved it. You put it all together and you waited. And now because you did that, look what you get. You get this amazing toy that you wanted,
Right.
right? And like how great is that? So because when you work hard and like you save your money and you get it, and then you're patient, you can like accumulate it and put together and get something so much greater. Isn't that amazing? So it is so thick. And you see, like, he was so proud and boastful, like he seems so receptive to
Well,
all of it.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, he's like, yeah, that is right. I get something really great and exciting. So it was just me like, this is awesome. This is such a great, I think, teachable moment.
Yeah.
To really embed like work saving, like fiscal responsibility. Like, I'm not passing it up. So just like, da, 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 da. Like, I don't know if you've ever hit like a similar thing where it's like this, I'm not letting this teachable moment pass.
Well, I was hoping that you ended it with like, and here's a flyer for Steam Deck. What do you think about
Oh
this?
my God. And
Save
Daddy
up now.
Daddy wants a new system. Let's go.
Father's Day is coming up, kids. Yeah, well, I've been on the show and I talked about my oldest, how he's saved for his laptop.
That's right. Yeah.
So that was a long time in kid time. I think it was only just about a year that he decided he wanted it, but that is an eternity in kid time. But he kind of learned both lessons at the same time. Like, he spent all his money on that, so he had next to nothing. And then he wanted Minecraft, and this was that whole Minecraft conversation. Well, you don't have any money to buy it, so
With which funds?
right, exactly. You gotta wait. But that was that Game Pass $1 thing that and then he spent gift cards and stuff. But now he has to realize like, well, how am I gonna make up for the next game that I want, right? So he needs to look at what that money kind of brings him and how is he gonna get more? Because right now, birthdays and Christmas is really the only income streams he has. So what else can he do to get more, or maybe not, maybe lay off a little bit and play what he has, right? Like, those are the decisions that are going through his. And my youngest one, who's turning 9, is more on like the edible stuff, so not like edibles like we would have them.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So between my kid gambling,
Yeah.
and your kid dabbling in edibles, we got a hell of
This
a
is a
father
great-
show
This is
here.
a great show. Everyone should listen to this show.
We're great dads.
He will look at anything that they can eat. So it's just gum, candy, like cupcakes, whatever it is. And you have to explain that disappears in a day. Like, that's it. And then you've wasted $5, $10 or whatever. And then that adds up. So we're still working on that one. If it comes to like, oh, I want this specific game, which they have wanted a couple in the past, they usually save up the gift cards, which is great. Like, that is money, but it's more like, I have all these
Yeah.
gift cards that I can burn and I don't really care because it's there and I'm what am I going to use it for? I'm like, yeah, I get it, but it is kind of free money, but you still want to save it for something you want.
Yeah, the transactional nature of gaming seems to lend itself so well to these money lessons.
Yeah.
Where it's
Oh,
like
absolutely.
well, I mean, in the game itself, there's already kind of a do activity, get currency, be able to do something with currency.
Yep.
But then to acquire these games itself, it's just like, especially if the parents are willing to not just shell out every single. It's like, I want this game. Okay, I throw the cash at it. Seems great opportunities for education on every side.
Yeah, and I can see where those gaps are for free to play games to come in, because we've had that where,
Yeah.
you log in every day, you get 500 gems, and then you
Ugh.
have to use your own money to buy this. So, no, it's a good opportunity again, just to reinforce some stuff, because you don't usually get that. If they want a bike or something, you're like, I feel bad, I'll go get them a bike, right? Like,
Yeah,
don't make a
bike-
thing out of it. I'm not gonna
Yeah, yeah.
tell them to buy their own bike.
Buy their own bike. But would you let them buy their own V-Bucks?
Oh gosh.
Yeah. As we transition seamlessly to a Fortnite update, where, by the way, serendipitously, after we got off our call, like that next week, my kid asked my 6-year-old, "When can I play Fortnite?" Like, oh no, not for a long time.
Listening
buddy.
to the podcast, I get it. We have listeners everywhere of all ages.
I can play with Jeff's kids.
That's right. He'll show you the ropes.
We'll start a server. Now it's like,
Wow, you're
I don't even
starting.
feel it's going to be off for a while, because it's a whole saga. You'll obviously speak to it a lot clearly, but with the free to play monetization, like that stuff, it is straight up guns. They've played some relatively violent game, but it's all like, in my eyes, kind of like Bugs Bunny, cartoonish, like silliness, as opposed to straight up this assault rifle fires at this guy, and even as cartoony as Fortnite is, it just still feels, between the monetization and the straight up gun violence, they feel too young, like a 6-year-old. Like, for goodness sake, like a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Not likely. But I mean, that's this side of the house. It was funny that so close they mentioned it. How is Fortnite going in your house now that it showed up?
Fortnite's kind of on ice.
And done.
Yeah.
And done. We had one episode. False alarm.
I talked to my son after the episode, like the next day. It's like, oh yeah, I mentioned that on our show last night. He's like, he got really upset, saying, no, I'm still in Minecraft. I haven't ditched Minecraft for Fortnite. I just play Fortnite with one friend that doesn't want to play Minecraft.
You go back to your audience and you tell them, like I am a Minecraft player. How
You need
dare
to
you?
issue a correction, because this
Yeah.
cannot go. There's on the playground, people are talking. No, so he was very like adamant. No, this one friend does not like Minecraft at all. Plays a lot of Fortnite, so he connects with him through this game, and that's the only time he'll play with. So he has another circle of friends that they all still play Minecraft with on their server, but will transition over into Fortnite with this one friend. So I thought that was kind of cool. Like, he's meeting him on his level, literally on his turf, kind of thing, right? Just to connect. So
Yeah, it's a degree of, like, that's great empathy. Like, I hope you really praising and encouraging him, because that's awesome. Like, dude, does Katie want to play this? No, not really. I play this. Okay, we can play that. Like, that just lends itself to so much other avenues for making friends in the future. It's like, hey, you want to go get some Chinese food? No, I like Indian. Okay, let's go get that. That sounds great.
Right.
Like that sort of flexibility with it. That's amazing.
yeah, but in this game, it's just like rat-a-tat-tat, you're dead. Like,
It's a little different, sure. I'll give you that.
but no, they have a blast on it. I hear them yelling up there all the time, which is another thing. Like, my kid yells through the ceiling and floor of this house when he plays that game. So it is intense. They have fun though. It's no screaming at each other. But yeah, so just to clarify for all the audience, if you ever happen to know, like even his friends that are listening, he does not play Fortnite all the time. Minecraft is still in rotation.
There we go. Okay. Let's take care of that, so we don't have to issue an apology to
That's
anyone.
right.
Yeah, we got a cease and desist letter from Jeff's kids' lawyers. That's what they save their money up for. It's like
That's
lawyers,
right,
so they
yeah.
can sue you.
I'm being served. Thanks.
And then they win the case. Every month you have to pay them like $2,000
In V-Bucks. Yeah.
and all of a sudden they're just gaming like there's no tomorrow.
Seize the opportunity, kids. I taught you well. That's great.
Oh, that sounds. Now that I said that out loud, I'm sad that I put that out into the ether. That might exist.
Yeah, way to be.
Kids suing their parents for gaming privileges. My
That'll
lord,
be a whole other episode. We'll get
God
into that.
save, God save us. Oh, well, we'll take it there. We'll wrap it up for the week. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. If you want to get a hold of us, you can find us at our website, newdadgaming.com, or at Twitter, at newdadgaming. As we've been saying the last couple of weeks, it's been one of the funnest parts of this episode is interacting with other gaming dads, like hearing ideas, hearing stories, banter. It's great. So we'd love for a follow at New Dad Gaming. If you like the podcast, you can find us on all the major podcasting networks. So Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher. Just search for New Dad Gaming. This year, as we try to grow and get out to as many gaming dads as possible, I mean, we got to make these V-Bucks somehow.
That's right. Help us out.
Not about money, but about connecting. And we're trying to get to as many gaming dads as possible. It really helps out the show. Jeff and I would be eternally grateful as if you subscribe and also leave a rating on those shows. If you do so and you have something you'd like to call out or some cause that we can support in any way that we can, just do so by reaching out to us on our channels after you leave a rating. More than happy to do so. So, as I said, New Dad Gaming on any of the popular podcasting networks. Not even popular, all of them. Even
All
the
of them, every single one.
Even the backwater ones.
That's right.
Build one yourself. We'll still show up there. It'll be great. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. My name is Trevor, and I have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have an 11-year-old and an almost 9-year-old.
Swamp water, baby.
Whoa.
Let's just put it every... What flavor is it? All of them. Every flavor.
Every single one. Why is it brown? Oh, my God.
Oh, it is brown. It's
all it
greenish
is.
brown. That's how it always ends up.
It'll be, yep. That's what happens.
I can taste... It's so gross. I used to love it.
Not anymore.
It's one of
We're
those...
old now.
If we ever... Next time we do a live recording with each other, it's very much like... We'll have to look back at all these shows where we've talked about the worst possible things, and one of them could be
is one of them.
We're gonna we're gonna cheers to some swamp water that your kids make for us.
I think you had pudding powder. We're gonna do pudding powder.
Oh God, pudding!
Good
Oh
luck.
man, pudding powder. That'd be amazing. Still got to do that.
Yep.
Okay. Cheers, everybody, for whatever you're drinking. And I think I already said we said our names, didn't we?
We said our names.
Okay. I was like, this is the post banter, right?
This is it. Yeah. Let's keep it going.
Thanks, everybody. Just remember, just because you became a dad,
Does not mean it's game over. It means swamp water.
so God, how dare you? See you next week.
See you later.